people, Joe Winko here, your favorite Hawaiian guy, and welcome to my next episode of the Rising Talking Dead Joe Winko. It is very good to have all of you here tonight. So, tonight's episode was really intense. Joe Winko and Russell finally left Joe's house because there were too many zombies. They meet a new girl named Brenda, and also they meet a whole bunch of other people at a junkyard they're taking refuge at now. And yeah, and tension is starting to stir between all the survivors at the junkyard and between Joe, Brenda, and Russell. Yeah, not very positive either. So, sorry this episode took so long to make. It's just because there were so many sets I had to build. Well, yeah, there kind of were. Like, the forest didn't really take that long. But the junkyard was kind of difficult because I had to stack all the cars on top of each other and put them on OSMPs. Well, first I had to go on Mod The Sims 2 and find a bunch of old-looking, rusted-out cars and figure out exactly how I want the junkyard to look. Because I don't really plan it out as good as I could. So, yeah. So right now, I'm going to be answering some questions that you viewers had about my series, The Rising Dead. You all asked these before I posted the episode of The Rising Dead, this new episode of The Rising Dead. So some of them may have already been answered when you saw this new episode, but I'm going to answer them right now anyway. Okay, so Eidolon1, I hope I pronounced that username right, forgive me if I didn't, but Eidolon1 from YouTube asked, I was wondering, if there are any kids in the group, will they know how to survive or cause a herd of zombies to come walk through and destroy wherever they're hiding out at? That's what I think you meant by that. So, in this episode, you didn't really see any kids in the junkyard at all. I mean, everyone you saw in this episode, that's everyone who's in the junkyard. There's no background survivors or extras at the junkyard. Everyone who you met and everyone who Captain Leo was talking about during the campfire scene at night, that's everyone who was in the junkyard. So there's no background survivors. But they will discover more survivors eventually that they bring back to the junkyard. But I'm not going to go into detail on that because I want you guys to wait for the next episode and I want you guys to watch for yourself. So next, Star Boots from YouTube asked, do the zombies eat animals? Because in other movies, the zombies never eat animals, or they do find animals in The Sims 2. Okay, do the zombies eat animals? I haven't really decided on that, really, to be honest with you, because you can have animals in The Sims 2, but in The Rising Dead, okay, this probably will spoil it, but in The Rising Dead, I don't really plan on having any animals appearing in The Rising Dead at all. So, like maybe farm animals or something like that, but I don't think I would ever have a scene where an animal gets eaten by a zombie at all. I don't think I ever would. So, not really. But you have to remember, the zombie virus in The Rising Dead, well, I don't really know if I should have it be caused by a virus at all yet. You have to remember, well, it kind of is caused by an infection or a virus. Viruses and infections can mutate at any time. So a zombie might only want to bite people, but eventually, as the show progresses, they might want to bite animals too. So, keep that in mind, that the zombie virus can mutate at any time. So, yeah. So to answer your question, I haven't really decided on that yet, but, oh yeah. But it was a good question, though. I will give that to you. So, Roblox Jake's Production from YouTube asked, would Joe find a prison or that big home, like on Season 6 of The Walking Dead? The Alexandria Safe Zone, that's what he meant. That's the place they go to in Season 6 of The Walking Dead. And they did go to a prison on The Walking Dead, but let me tell you this. Joe Winko or any other character on The Rising Dead, they will never go to a prison. No, they will not go, they will never hide out at a prison. I can promise you that. It may be a spoiler, but no. They will never go to a prison at all. They will go to a secure place eventually, but it will not be a prison at all. Just letting you all know. So, yeah. So, next. This isn't really a question, but it was one comment on my last episode of The Rising Talking Dead, Joe Winko, that I just wanted to clarify to you guys. Okay. Abahinav, thank you. I cannot read that username, so please forgive me. From YouTube asked, that girl should become Joe's girlfriend. Joe's GF, that's what he typed. Okay, by that girl, he meant Brenda, the girl with the braids. Okay, another kind of spoiler for my own series. Well, it's not really a spoiler, I'm just letting you guys know, just clarifying for you, this to you, just like the prison. Joe is never, my character is never gonna have a girlfriend on The Rising Dead. Just letting you all know, there's gonna be no love interest for my character at all, and really no love interest for any of the other characters either. I mean, yeah, I know that may seem kind of boring, but no, I'm not gonna have any love interest for any of my characters on the show. They're not gonna fall in love with each other. Cause I don't want it to get too gushy and too gooey and everything. I mean, cause it's a show about people working together to survive in a zombie apocalypse, not falling in love with each other. I mean, yeah, they will be, technically they kind of are in love with each other, but in like a friendship way, like they care about each other, and they want to protect each other and keep each other alive. That's really what I try having in all my horror movies, believe it or not, like a friendship element. If you pay enough attention to my Sims 2 horror movies that I made in the past, you'll actually notice that, a friendship element between the characters. Well, sometimes, not any of the old school ones I made back in middle school. But in the newer ones, yes. You'll notice like a friendship element, like Fresh Apple Massacre, there was friendship, Joe and Pinkie Pie. Knifed, there is a friendship, Joe and Briary. The Night Striker, there is a friendship. Even though, like, almost everyone in that movie died except me. There is still a friendship. Well, I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, there technically was a friendship in those movies. If you check them out, you'll notice that. So I'm just gonna clarify some other stuff to you about this episode. The character Sally, she's based off of Amy from season 1 of The Walking Dead, and I loved Amy from season 1 of The Walking Dead. She was Emma Bell's character in The Walking Dead, and she's kind of different from the Amy on The Walking Dead. First, I made her more bold and more tougher. Like, more bold and more tougher than the Amy on The Walking Dead. Because the Amy on The Walking Dead, she was all sweet and innocent and kind of timid. But the Amy from the Sally, I changed her name to Sally. The Sally from The Rising Dead, she's a little bit more tougher. And plus, her sister is dead. Her sister is dead on The Rising Dead, so that kind of made her more bolder and tougher. And she's overly protective. She doesn't trust Joe, Brenda, or Russell when they come to the camp, obviously, because she doesn't want the camp to go bad at all. But, I also changed her hair color, too. I made her hair color brown instead of blonde, because according to the horror movie statistics that I did some research on over the past 20 years I've been alive, it's a known fact, according to the horror movie statistics, that brunette girls survive longer in horror movies than blonde girls. And it's been proven in many scenarios. Trust me, I'm telling the truth on that. No offense, blonde girls at all who are watching this video. If any are, really. I'm not sure. So, Double D is also, yep, you guys guessed it. Double D is based off the Double D from the cartoon Ed, and Eddie. I love that cartoon. I wanted to put him as a character in The Rising Dead. He also has a friend named Eddie who's in South Carolina at a theme park, who's based off the Eddie from Ed, Ed, and Eddie. And also the character Brenda. She's also based off of someone I read about. I'm not going to explain it now. If you watch my next episode of Chilling Crimes, as soon as I get it done, you guys will find out. If you watch my next episode of Chilling Crimes, if you guys watch all my YouTube stuff, that's what you guys should do. Watch all my YouTube stuff, because it all correlates with each other. Like, you'll say, oh, I know what inspired that because he talked about it and that. And it's kind of the same as, like, it's based off of Brenda is based off of someone, but it's kind of gloomy and kind of morbid who she's based off of. It's the same as Russell, though. Russell is also based off of someone, too. Off a person, too. If you would have watched my episode of, my episode of Joe Winko Talk, you would know who Russell was based off of, because I even mentioned it in a few of my episodes of Joe Winko Talk. But yeah, just check those out. You'll find out on your own. Watch my next episode of my crime documentary series, Chilling Crimes, to find out who Brenda is based off of. I don't mention it in my episode of Chilling Crimes, who she's based off of. But the moment I finish my next episode of Chilling Crimes, you will automatically know who she's based off of, because you'll recognize her right away. And it's kind of sad, too, but I don't want to make this episode gloomy at all. So, well, it's a show about a zombie apocalypse, so of course it's going to be gloomy, but not in a realistic gloomy way. My bad. So, here is a sneak peek on the next episode of The Rising Dead. Check it out right now. Here it is. Welcome! Ooh, creepy, isn't it? What do you think is going on there? Yeah, episode 4 of The Rising Dead is on its way. There's still some more sets that I need to build, so it's gonna take me a little while to finish it, but it is on its way, so just be patient. It's on its way, and it will come soon, so just be patient for that, everyone. Well, I'll try to get it out as soon as possible. I don't like the schedule of 1 episode a month. I want to pick it up a bit, like 2 episodes a month or more, if I can. Because there's only going to be 8 episodes in Season 1 of The Rising Dead anyway, so I'm almost halfway through of Season 1. So, these are my questions for you guys, so what you can discuss in the comments. How long do you think everyone will be safe at the junkyard? What do you think will happen at the junkyard? What do you think will happen between Joe, Russell, Brenda, and the other survivors? Will they learn to get along, or will conflict just stir up? And also, what do you think is happening in that sneak peek I showed you in episode 4? What do you think is going to happen to... I'm going to talk in third person now. What do you think is going to happen to Joe? What do you think he's going to encounter, and what do you think will happen to him next? Is he in danger or something? Seems like he is, because with what he saw wherever he was and that happy, cheerful voice he heard, doesn't seem very good for him. So, take a guess at it. Please type it in the comments. Please tell me what you think, because I love hearing what you guys think. Seriously, I do. That's why I post all this stuff. And if you have any questions on The Rising Dead, please tweet them to me at JoeWinkoOFCL on Twitter. Or you can comment on this video, or you can post them to my Facebook fan page. But I'd much rather you tweet them to me and hashtag Joe Winko or hashtag The Rising Dead. Please do that, because I'd much rather have you tweet them to me. And that is basically it. So thank you guys for watching this episode. Thank you for watching that episode of The Rising Dead. And before we end, let's take some time to say goodbye to all those we lost this episode, starting now. Brought to you by Carmex.
Bring your lips to life with the soothing moisture of Carmex Lip Balm.
So you don't end up looking like a zombie from the rising dead.